Hi, welcome back to the channel. My name is David, and this is Fresh Faces, New Ideas. If you like the channel and you like what I talk about and you want to support me, please like and subscribe, or follow me on Twitter at Faces Ideas, or you can listen to me on the Center Left Radio podcast. So, what we're going to talk about is Tucker Carlson. So it's going to be kind of a little bit specified about what he most recently said, but it's a general discussion, once again, about Tucker Carlson. Now, reminder, Tucker Carlson is a grifter. And when I say that because whatever he says about big business or whatever things he says that the left goes, ooh, maybe we could work with that. It's just not true. Tucker Carlson is a multimillionaire whose whole job is to rile up his base and just get them mad. And he just spouts disinformation. He spouts white supremacy. He spouts just terrible things. Also keep in mind, until recently, or might still be, I haven't checked the actual standings to see, he was the most watched television host of all time, ever. Like, he had the audience. So it is worth remembering that this man has a very powerful reach. He also has no issues with lying to people. His writer for multiple years was just caught on a Nazi forum spouting white supremacy. So those are the things you need to remember for Tucker Carlson. And last but most importantly, Fox News got sued because of something Tucker Carlson said. And their defense was, and this is worth bringing up every single time somebody says something about that's worth listening to on Tucker Carlson. No reasonable person can take the things Tucker Carlson says seriously. That was their defense. You can't take his sentence seriously. So, by their own logic, if you take Tucker Carlson seriously, you are no longer a reasonable person. Remember how people got mad about deplorables or Neanderthals, whatever recent thing they're getting complained about? Fox News thinks their audience are idiots. They've said it in court. It's been in court. Their court documents saying it. Okay? So let's see what Tucker Carlson has to say. This is about the Army.
So we've got new hairstyles and maternity flight suits. Pregnant women are going to...
Okay, so I was looking into this just to see the reaction to this. Flight suits are apparently, like, always just super big like this anyway. So they have this ability to get into it. So maternity flight suits is a stupid question.
...fight our wars. It's a mockery of the U.S. military.
Hold on, let's roll that back real quick.
So we've got new hairstyles and maternity flight suits. Pregnant women are going to fight our wars.
No, that's just super dumb thing to say. That's just not true on any level. Look, actually, that's not true. It is possible that pregnant women would fight our wars. And that is because of the expansion of drones where we don't actually need people in combat. So yes, you could have a pregnant woman who flies a drone, and that's technically fighting our wars. So yeah, that's Tucker Carlson being an idiot right there.
It's a mockery of the U.S. military. While China's military becomes more masculine as it's assembled the world's largest navy, our military needs to become, as Joe Biden says, more feminine, whatever.
Okay, so this is just outright. First, it's reaching out to. Damn it, I forget what they're called. The involuntary incels. It's reaching out to the incel community. It's reaching out to anyone who believes that this idea that the West is becoming more feminine while the East is all masculinity, or it's along that lines of just thinking where that femininity is so terrible. Look, we have a very masculine military. I guarantee you, the majority of it is still men. Having the ability for pregnant women to be in it, or I don't know what he's talking about, the hairstyles, or it just doesn't make any sense. And it has no impact on our fighting force. We're not sending these pregnant women to the front line. They have, like, the military has doctors and stuff. They if they have people who are pregnant, they're not going to put them in the front. That's just so stupid. This man gets paid so much money to just lie to people.
Feminine means anymore, since men and women no longer exist.
That's true. You have to throw in some trans bashing as well. Men and women still exist. This is so stupid because you got to find their new thing to hate because they've kind of lost the gay fight. Men and women still exist. They still exist under the Equality Act. All the Equality Act says you can't discriminate against them. We know they hate them. We know that Donald Trump basically banned them from the military recently. But there doesn't seem to be any impact on the military by having women or trans people in it.
Mine is, it's out of control, and the Pentagon's going along with this. Again, this is a mockery of the U.S. military and its core mission, which is winning wars. One of the few people who's been paying attention to this is someone who served in the U.S. military, Indiana Congressman.
Okay, hold on. So we're done with that here. So, look, it's not a mockery of the military to have women in the military. It's not a mockery of the military to allow women to, be comfortable if they're pregnant. So if they need to have these type of maternity suits, I guarantee you that they're going to do whatever is best for the women. That's what the military said. And look, he's receiving a lot of backlash for this, and rightfully so. And I hope the backlash implies that Fox News is taken off of military installations, which is something that they're pushing for. And then, you know what? I hope Fox News sits there and goes and cries about it. Because they're going to say, oh, now we're being censored on military bases. Yeah, because you chose to go after them. Keep in mind, they always wrap themselves in this, we love the troops. We love the troops so much. And anyone who says anything bad about the troops is just anti-American. But when it comes to helping them, it's socialism. When it comes to ending the forever wars, Tucker Carlson's recent statement, I don't even want to pull this up because it was so stupid, was we are in Afghanistan currently because we're doing a pseudo psyops in order to make the gender equality and destroy the nuclear family. That was what he said. So he has no respect for the military. He doesn't believe in anything. He believes in whatever gets him paid and whatever gets him views. There's plenty of examples of this. When he was arguing for the Iraq War, when he was arguing Sam Cedar has gone on the record and said, "Look, I would go out from smoke with guys like I don't care." But he has no. Look, I have not served. My brother was a Marine. But I'm not going to disparage the military. Do I disagree with some of the military decisions we have made to go into wars and how some of their actions are? Yes. But I understand that these people are serving their country. And I'm not going to say we're worse or more feminine because women have some type of semblance of comfort while they're pregnant. We're not sending these women to the front lines. It's just absurd. Look, it's worth mentioning over and over again that Fox News has no real consistent actual criticism of things. They either cry socialism when there's any type of any metric that's going to help actual regular people, or they cry about cancel culture that isn't accurate. Look, there are actual things to complain about when it comes to cancel culture. The Muppets, Mr. Potato Head, Dr. Seuss are not any of them. They're just wrong. They're going to complain about all these crazy things. And it is always worth mentioning that the people at the top of Fox News are well aware that they don't have to tell the truth. That's why they separate them between their, I think around the 5, and then Brett Baier is a separate thing. Once they actually have like political talking heads, the 5, Jeanine Pirro, Laura Ingraham, Sean Hannity, and Tucker Carlson, they're considered entertainment. Because that way, when they just lie about stuff, or however many times Sean Hannity says he's reported just isn't true, they have protections. The Fox News itself is protected, so they're not getting sued all the time every time they lie or attack somebody incorrectly, because that's what their job is to generate outrage. And look, it is also worth mentioning, but that by covering this, I'm giving him more views, because the only views that he would have would be the people who follow him, and then when people get mad at like, oh, this can't be real, he couldn't have said this, and it is true. However, there are many caveats to this. When you do need to go onto these networks to spout certain ideas. The perfect example of this was the Bernie Sanders town hall during the primary. He absolutely eviscerated all of the hosts who were trying to get at him. And the Fox News crowd, they loved everything he's saying, which goes into further support all the polling that shows that the ideas Bernie was pushing were popular. It is also a sign of where a politician is when what they decide to spout on Fox News. Tulsi Gabbard is a perfect example. Tulsi Gabbard is considered this like weird pseudo left wing like counterculture character. She's very much turned into the Fox News person. It's very likely that she will resurface as a Fox News Republican in a few years. And look, overall, Tucker is a danger to the country. He absolutely is. He controls, he has a mass following. He both simultaneously in the last month said QAnon doesn't exist, and if it does, they just help puppies. It's just they're not a big threat. That was what his argument was. He talks out of both sides of his mouth to get whatever he thinks can be relevant at this time, and it is always, always, always worth mentioning that Tucker Carlson's protection from Fox News, their lawyers specifically said no reasonable person could believe the things that Tucker Carlson says. They can believe, I guess, but that implies that reasonable people can believe the things Jeanine Pirro says, or Laura Ingraham says, or Sean Hannity says. But Tucker Carlson, who was there, he's the shining star because he's the one with the most ratings. You can't be a reasonable person and believe him. And once again, this is not me saying this. This is Fox News lawyers to defend themselves from a lawsuit. So, if you like my content and you appreciate the things that I do, please like and subscribe. Please follow me on Twitter. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.